Thanks, Toby, and good morning, everyone. That really is a hard act to follow. I'm standing behind the lectern. I already feel like a Luddite. But anyway, that's the way I do things. But that was a fabulous presentation, a great way to get the day started, and a great way for us to think about how we need to shape our future. So thanks very much, Chris. The theme of this convention is halving waste and doubling productivity by 2030. It's an ambitious, a laudable objective, and we'll be hearing from a whole lot of speakers throughout the course of a couple of days on how best we progress towards these goals. But whilst we immediately are drawn to thinking about on-farm waste and supply chain productivity in waste, another way to think about waste is also what might have been, or what could we have done if we were more effective. At AUSVEG, our primary business is advocacy, representing the interests of growers to a variety of shareholders and decision makers in Parliament, in government departments, with supply chain partners. Yet probably the greatest barrier we have to successfully prosecuting our advocacy agenda is the fragmented nature of our industry. Now, it's probably not surprising that an industry that grows as many a variety of crops as Australian horticulture does is fragmented. This great diversity of production drives innovation and growth and keeps the industry at the forefront of providing nutritious, healthy food to meet the needs of an ever-increasingly inquisitive consumer at home and abroad. However, when it comes to representing the interest of growers, this characteristic of diversity actually becomes a liability. Yet the consequences are hidden. They're opportunity costs. What could have been achieved if the industry had been more articulate and persuasive in demonstrating the value to the broader economy of a vibrant, competitive, efficient, appropriately resourced and supported horticulture industry? Politicians and other decision makers are often telling us that it's almost impossible for them to represent the industry effectively because it's so hard for them to stay connected to all the organisations that represent growers. So part of the reason for this fragmentation is that each horticulture commodity tends to focus on what's different and unique rather than what are the common issues. And this approach actually generates waste because the list of issues that Australian growers require competent advocacy on is almost exactly the same regardless of the crop being grown. There are almost always some combination of labour availability and cost, water security, the ever-increasing biosecurity threat, export market access and legislative changes such as codes of conduct and food labelling. That's why the recent establishment of the National Farmers Federation Horticulture Council is such an important development. Through almost all of the national peak bodies in horticulture, directly or via the Voice of Horticulture, and most state bodies now being members of that council, horticulture producers across the country now have a direct feed into the policy development of the NFF and have access to their resources and expertise. Established only a few months ago, it's a bit early to measure its success. However, it's already very evident that it's providing a mechanism for all these groups to talk to collectively and collaboratively instead of pursuing their own agendas individually. Growers should be very pleased that they're now part of the NFF, and I'm delighted that Fiona Simpson, the President of the NFF, will be speaking to us shortly. One of the greatest assets that this industry has is the funds it has at its disposal to invest in research and development and marketing. The $104 million invested by Hort Innovation last financial year was a combination of funds received from growers, research entities, commercial partners and the federal government. All in all, investments were made in 639 different projects and 25 marketing campaigns. It sounds fantastic, and most of it is focused on innovation, improving farm productivity and generating market demand. But could we invest these funds more wisely? There are 35 different industry funds, each with its own strategic investment plan, and overseen by nearly 40 different strategic investment advisory panels. These panels are predominantly made up of growers, so their insights are critical. But this is the right structure. Is it too top-heavy? How many funds are solving the same problem? Are we investing in the projects that really move the dial for our industry? Do we need 639 different projects, 25 different marketing campaigns? Could we collaborate more? Why don't we collaborate more? How much of this great asset are we wasting? The industry should have answers to these questions, but we don't. AUSVEG itself will be investing more in advocacy on agri-political and other issues that affect all growers. Our business operates on a profitable and vibrant platform, and we'll be on the lookout for any opportunity to collaborate wherever we can, to look for the positives rather than finding ways to criticise, and to partner with organisations that can amplify our common messages. By doing so, we hope to do more than our fair share to halve waste and double productivity. Thanks very much.